Intel extends their warranties, but makes it a really big hassle. Apple is finally paying their price for their bad keyboards, and RIP to the GOAT. That's how you kids say it these days. Let's get into the hot news, everybody. I'm your Brett host. We're gonna be going over the hottest tech news I can find on the internet while you enjoy your breakfast this Monday, August 5th, 2024. We're gonna start off today talking about the news that came out before hot news on Friday came out, but after I filmed the episode, and that is Intel is going to be extending their warranties on their Raptor Lake CPUs. This is something that they were asked about by The Verge last week, early in the week, and they were like, we don't have a comment. But now it appears that they're gonna be giving people an additional 2 years to bring the total warranty period for the 13th and 14th gen CPUs all the way up to 5 years. But the key thing to note here is that this is only for people who bought the CPUs as CPUs in a little box. If you bought a tray CPU, you get nothing. You bought it from an OEM, go talk to them. You got an iBuyPower PC, that's not Intel's power problem. I really screwed that up, but that's the general gist here, is that if you bought the CPU as a box, you can talk to Intel. If you bought it any other way, go fly a kite and deal with whoever you want to talk to about it. So that appears to be an issue. Intel saying contact their service center and you can go look, and there's just been numerous reports of the difficulty of actually trying to get these RMA service. So much so that over on Tom's Hardware, they have a report of a Reddit user who bought 2 Intel CPUs, one from Micro Center and one from Amazon. And this turned out to be a huge debacle where Intel was basically like, we're not covering either of these chips because the Micro Center one, that was tampered with. Somebody like messed with the serial code, so frick you. And then the Amazon one was, hey, that's a tray CPU, not a box one, so we're not gonna cover that one either, so frick you again. It required the Reddit user to submit a better picture of the Amazon CPU, and then Intel was like, oh yeah, you're right, it is a box CPU, but why don't you return it to Amazon anyways? And then for the Micro Center one, the Reddit user went to Micro Center and was like, hey, Intel's saying this about the CPU. And Micro Center was like, that's stupid. It's not fraudulent. It's just we sold you a good CPU, buddy. Go talk to Intel and tell them what we said. And Intel said, we're not gonna disclose why we thought this chip was faulty, but if you wanna send it to us, if it fails the validation process, we will retain your chip and confiscate it, and then we're not gonna give you a replacement or a refund. So, Intel's swimmingly just knocking it out of the park on failing at this entire thing in terms of RMA and being trustworthy in terms of this situation of whether or not you should be able to get your CPU fixed. This is a debacle. While it's good that they're adding the extra 2 years, they do not appear to be making it easy. They have had no forthright communication on actually telling their customers that you can trust them. It's just gonna be super simple, barely an inconvenience, and instead it turns out to be malfeasance and obscuring the truth and making things up along the process, which is great. This is a great situation to be in. But we'll talk about more of the issues that are going on at Intel in a little bit after I tell you about today's video sponsor, because while this trip has been going great, there is one thing that I miss dearly, and that is my bed, my actual bed. The beds here at the Airbnb, not great. And that's why I'm excited to tell you that today's video sponsor is Helix Sleep, because currently Helix is offering 20% off your mattress plus 2 free pillows, but more on that later. Let me tell you why I love Helix Sleep so much. Helix Sleep has changed the game when it comes to choosing a mattress, bringing you the best in custom premium mattresses delivered straight to your door with free shipping. Your mattress will arrive rolled in a box to save you the struggle of lugging a traditional mattress all through your house. Once you get your mattress unboxed, you can sleep on it for 3 months before deciding if you want to keep it with Helix's 100-night sleep trial. And spoiler alert, you probably won't be sending it back. With a lineup offering 20 unique mattresses, Helix is sure to have something for everyone. And since you'll be keeping your Helix mattress, you'll be glad to hear that they offer a 10-year warranty, financing options, and flexible payments. Personally, I've been on a Helix Sleep mattress for years at this point, starting when I moved to my house in Pennsylvania. My mattress was basically waiting for me at my door when we moved in, and thanks to the convenience Helix offers, we had my mattress set up within just moments, and I've been getting glorious nights of sleep ever since. It was the first thing that that I unpacked in my house. And Helix also offers a sleep quiz so that you can personalize your bed to your needs, whether that's for you or for you and your sleep partner. Helix takes into account factors like your body type and your sleep preferences to pair you with your ideal mattress. I'm a side sleeper, while my wife likes to sleep on her stomach, although that's a little limited right now since she has a baby in her tummy. I say it like that, but we both like a medium mattress, so we got paired up with the Dust Luxe mattress, and it's been a favorite of ours ever since. And when Reece was here last year, he had his Helix sleep mattress from all the way in his initial stay in 2020, and he was very upset to have to leave that mattress again, but maybe, just maybe, if he comes back this year, who knows, he'll get to use his favorite Helix sleep mattress again. And obviously, I'm currently on vacation, as you can tell by the change of scenery, and while it's great to get away from home for a bit, I have to say, this mattress sucks. It's just, I know it's not Helix Sleep here, and I'm frustrated. My wife and I are not getting a good night's sleep. It's like the type of thing that makes you homesick immediately as soon as you crawl into a crappy bed. And another thing for myself, as well as you to look forward to, is not sleeping on fiberglass. While other mattresses can contain that material, not Helix Sleep, because Helix owns its manufacturing facility, so they can ensure that only the best and most comfortable materials make it into your mattress. And as I said before, Helix is delivering a mattress straight to your door with free US shipping, and it's changing the game for mattress shopping. But when you take 20% off and throw in 2 free pillows, it's actually hard to believe that it's real. You might think you're dreaming. You follow the link below or go to helixsleep.com/UFD tech to get 20% off site-wide, plus 2 free pillows with a mattress purchase today. Big thanks to Helix Sleep for sponsoring today's video and providing me with 3+ years of sweet dreams. And I bet you Intel wishes they were dreaming right now, because there's reports coming out that another law firm is investigating a class action lawsuit against Intel. They're investigating this currently right now. You can contact them for a free consultation. But we talked about on Friday that there's another lawsuit where they're gathering evidence to see whether or not they're going to bring it against Intel for the class action. But regardless of however much money that ends up being, it probably won't be as much money as they lost in the stock market last week, because they lost $39 billion in market cap to bring them under $100 billion worth as a company. And you might be asking, oh, hey, was it the 13th, 14th gen CPU issues that are making the problem? No, they just missed their earnings. And they also announced that instead of the 10,000 jobs that we've been reporting that they're gonna be cutting in terms of layoffs, it's actually gonna be about 15. I've seen some reports that's gonna be 17,000. It's really hard to measure, but it's gonna be way more than the 10,000, and that their loss in Q2 was $1.6 billion. And part of that problem was Meteor Lake CPUs. They're not hitting the yields that they need, so they're having to do hot lots and actually just produce these things quickly in order to get them, which makes it so that they're not earning as much money. This time a year ago, they were making $1.5 billion in profit. Now they're making that in losses at the current moment. And what really dropped the stock was they announced that Q3 is not gonna be any better. They're essentially not looking at recouping any of the money. One of the biggest problems that Intel's having right now is obviously the 13th and 14th gen, but that is for enthusiasts, and it doesn't appear to be the biggest price point issue that they're having. It's really them trying to get the foundry service up and running to the point where they're actually gonna be bringing in customers like NVIDIA or ARM or any other company and trying to steal business away from TSMC that is requiring insanely high capital investing. But then on top of that, while every other company like AMD and NVIDIA and Apple are surging in stock because of all of the valuations bought up into AI, Intel really hasn't capitalized on that. Their AI is missing. Lunar Lake's not here, which is supposed to be their AI chip. Additionally, everything that they're supposed to be putting into the data centers, they're losing to AMD and NVIDIA on. They just appear to be caught between a rock and a hard place, and it doesn't appear like it's getting any better. And especially with those job layoffs, it's going to be massive. But as we talked about last week, Intel will still have many times the amount of employees that AMD and NVIDIA does. Obviously, part of that is because Intel owns their own foundry services, so they have more employees on that side. It's not just chip development that goes into all of it, but Intel's in a really rough space that it's gonna be tricky for them to overcome. If Lunar Lake is a flop and if Arrow Lake is a flop, we might be looking at like an AMD FX situation where they are just behind for so long that we just don't even look to them anymore. It's gonna be weird to be in that situation, but it's not weird when Reece tries to save you a little bit of money.
Yo, welcome back to UFD Deals, bringing the hottest tech deals out on the internet. Happy Monday, everyone. Hope you guys had a good weekend, and let me get your week started off right with some deals. Because first up, we have this LTC Nimbleback NB831. This 75% wireless hot swappable mechanical keyboard is going for only $39.99 with the coupon applied, making it $10 off. But then next up, we have this Corsair HS55 wireless core gaming headset for only $49.99 with the included promo code, making it $50 off the total price or 50% off. And then lastly, we have this Thermaltake View 270 TG Mid-Tower EATX case available in the gorgeous Much Green for only $59.99, making it $20 off. And hey, with that, the deals are done. You can find these and more linked in the video description down below. But until next time, I'm gonna hand you off back to Brett for the rest of your hot news. Cheers.
Well, Reece, Apple's got a deal for anybody who had one of them butterfly keyboards that sucked way back when, got dirt under it, the keys would die, you'd had to have the whole keyboard replaced, but now they're finally sending out checks for some of these keyboards that have been causing issues since about a decade ago. These butterfly switches were up to no good the entire time, and it was established in 2022. There was a $50 million payout in this class action lawsuit, but while the lawsuit happened, how Apple got to pay it out wasn't approved until very recently, and even then it's not a ton of people who are getting it. You can get up to $400 if you had more than 2 top case replacements on your laptop. You can get up to $125 if you had 1 top case, and up to $50 for keycap replacements. But the big deal here is, despite the millions of MacBooks that were affected by this issue, only 7 states can actually access this: California, Florida, Illinois, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, and Washington. The rest of the 43 states cannot access this class action lawsuit, which helps to explain why the numbers per issue are so high. Because if it was everybody, you'd be getting 10 pence. But it doesn't matter how much Apple has to pay out for this, because according to their earnings reports, they are doing great. They've got a lot of money, $85.78 billion in revenue. They are net profit of $21.45 billion. They're great. Apple is earning money a lot. People are buying them even if you don't believe it. And a lot of people didn't believe this report when it initially came out. Puget Systems announcing their failure rates when it comes to the CPUs that they're shipping in their PCs. And they announced that AMD is actually failing twice as much as the current Raptor Lake CPUs of 13th and 14th gen. Now there's good reasons for it, which we're about to get into, but it is intriguing to see how problems can be mitigated. So Puget Systems releasing this, saying that the 5000 and 7000 series Ryzen chips are failing at 4%, whereas the 13th and 14th gen CPUs from Intel are roughly around a 2% failure rate. But the 11th gen Intel CPUs were failing at 7%. They were way worse. But the main reason for this that Puget Systems came out with was essentially they haven't trusted motherboard makers since the 8700K all the way back in 2017, essentially saying that their settings are stupid and we're running the chips wrong, not according to the right spec. They've known this, so they've been tweaking the motherboard BIOSes since 2017 to make sure that everything's stable, and that's why they're seeing all of these stabilities. Now, that doesn't mean that there isn't a growing amount. Puget Systems does say that there is an increasing number of field systems that are having issues with 13th and 14th gen, so it could potentially exceed past the 2%, but that all of these failures are happening after 6 months, so it's hard to say where it is right now. But historically, from this state looking backwards, AMD has been less reliable than Intel, but that likely won't be the case moving forward. But it goes to show what a good system integrator and a company who actually knows what they're doing can provide you. They also announced that they will be additionally extending their warranty on their CPU systems that they're selling to you. And one of the big things to note with this is that their data only includes i7 and i9 CPUs, since that's all Puget Systems sells for 13th and 14th gen. So it's actually skewed in the high end, which is where all the failures are happening. So it's not like it's a low percentage because they're just shipping out 14100s. And NVIDIA won't be shipping out RTX 3060s anymore, according to reports. The last order for the 3060s is now being made by board partners. NVIDIA essentially telling these companies, get us your order for the 3060 and then it will be no more, which is a big deal because the 3060 does sit at the top of the Steam hardware survey charts. It's one of the most popular GPUs, 12 gigabytes of VRAM that you get for $329. You have to spend $800 with NVIDIA to get more than 12 gigabytes of VRAM. Obviously with AMD, you have to spend a little less, but if we're looking at Steam hardware survey, the most popular AMD GPU is an RX 580, and the 4090 is more popular than all of AMD's entire stock. So, bleh. Sad to see it go. RTX 3060 is dead. Long live the 3060. Big sad, big suck. And big comments is what you guys left on Friday's episode of Hot News, so let's go and see what you had to say. We got CJ saying, if only Intel followed ZTT's advice and manufactured the Ryzen 4070 instead. I gotta be honest, all right? I didn't realize this was a meme until I started seeing this posted everywhere, the Ryzen 4070. I just thought it was a code word for the Strix Halo thing, since it's a Ryzen chip with the 4070 class GPU in it. I'm gonna call that the Ryzen 4070 from now on. Zach, stop sending your minions over to my channel, please. Then we got Ultra Vegito saying Strix Halo plus Minisform mini PC, portable console-like PC. I'm excited for that. I'm looking forward to those days. Raiden's not looking forward to me telling him to enjoy his breakfast today, saying, stop telling me to eat my breakfast at 3 p.m. in Zodo games. Raiden, you should listen to Zodo saying, breakfast. I don't tell you to eat your breakfast, man. I'm not saying that, never said it. And then, especially when I talked about the Taco Bell AI ordering thing, a lot of people did not enjoy that story whatsoever. Rinlock saying, ease workers' workloads. That's a fancy way to say fire people. In most appearances of why companies are implementing the AI and neural net things is so that they can get lower labor costs. If you don't have to pay anybody for it at all, you get to keep all of that money. Having no employees is a dream, and being able to exploit them to have them work forever with no break and not have to pay them, this is, whew. I can only imagine how excited my economics professor is right now. And then user saying, so sick of AI, we need more human interactions. Says the guy who typed the comment into a social media platform where I actually don't even know what you look like, sound like, or even feel like. I just mean, like, if we like fist bumped or stop, okay? But I'm not talking like that. Anyways, I agree, but also I have a job because less human interactions. This is great. And I totally nailed this interaction that we had here. So I will now go and have an interaction elsewhere. I'm done with Hot News. See you back here for more of the hottest tech news tomorrow.